Tonight at 6 o'clock, we're learning that the Indiana National Guard could soon be activated to help immigration and customs enforcement efforts nationwide. They'll be working right alongside ICE agents to beef up operations. Our Samantha Johnson today talked with local guardsmen and joins us live in studio with what she learned. Hey, Sam.
Good afternoon. I talked to the Master Sergeant today, and he tells me we're still waiting on an official statement from the Indiana National Guard, but we do know this order comes from the Trump administration to ramp up immigration enforcement across the country. We're talking about 1,700 troops across possibly 19 states, including here in Indiana. Right now, the Miami Correctional Facility in Bunker Hill is making 1,000 beds available for ICE detainees. This summer, the U.S. Department of Defense determined some of the operations at facilities like this one may require direct interaction with individuals in ICE custody. And now that's where the National Guard is stepping in to help out. According to the DoD, troops will be working in facilities, doing tasks like case management, processing detainees in and out of facilities, even transportation support. That way, the department says, trained ICE agents can focus on law enforcement instead of clerical jobs. Government officials say that will significantly enhance overall effectiveness of ICE. Immigration attorney John Broyles tells me he worries about the National Guard getting involved.
Even though that immigration laws do need to be enforced, we can be compassionate.
Broyles expects what he calls a massive expansion of enforcement, thanks to more hands on the job. More hands that he worries won't be properly trained.
When you bring new people in that have no training or experience handling these matters and don't know what the detention standards are and the rights of the inmate are, you're going to have mistakes made.
We did reach out several times to lawmakers, including Governor Mike Braun, for a comment about this activation. They referred us back to the National Guard instead. All right, so again, we are also still waiting on that official statement from the Indiana National Guard. So far, it's not clear exactly if those Hoosier Guardsmen, where they would be activated, or if other Guardsmen and troops would be activated here to Indiana. The Indiana National Guard, though, did confirm to me that this has nothing to do with what's going on in Washington, D.C. Of course, we've seen President Trump activate troops there to help crack down on crime. He says these are two separate incidents, very different scenarios. So, of course, more to come. Something we'll keep an eye on.
Okay, Sam, thanks so much. Hoosiers now are speaking out against Indiana's immigration policy and plans to help ICE. And that's what at least a few hundred members of Indiana's faith community did today in Miami County this afternoon. They went and offered prayers and messages to those who are in charge. Our reporter, Emily Longnecker, was there.
Yeah, a lot of prayers going up today here outside the Miami Correctional Facility. The folks you see gathered here behind me, not only praying for folks in the immigrant community here in Indiana, but also praying for the ICE agents themselves, people who they say will be tasked with detaining some of these immigrants and bringing them here to stay. When that will happen here at the Miami Correctional Facility is still unknown, according to the Indiana Department of Corrections. That didn't stop faith leaders from across the state from gathering Monday to pray outside the facility against ICE detainees being held here.
Guide us to see you in each person, immigrant, neighbor, stranger, agent, friend, and foe.
We're concerned about the treatment of immigrants. We're concerned that human dignity be preserved and celebrated.
Last month, Governor Braun announced state agencies, including DOC, Indiana State Police, and the Indiana Department of Homeland Security, would be working more closely to assist ICE. That includes setting aside 1,000 beds for ICE detainees here.
I think the whole public should be alarmed at what's happening, and I think they should stand up and talk about it and defy the government.
Like the Miami Correctional Facility, Camp Atterbury is also set to house ICE detainees. That hasn't started yet. Protesters against that move gathered outside the National Guard facility this weekend. Monday's gathering in Miami County included songs and prayers, along with a message for Indiana lawmakers and Governor Braun.
I would continue to remind him to show compassion, to walk in the ways of justice and mercy.
Governor Braun has said Indiana's cooperation with ICE will involve detaining the worst first, undocumented immigrants who have broken laws.
I understand where the governor is coming from, but these are still people. These are still people at their core.
Lord, have mercy.
And one question we heard over and over again from the folks gathered here today, a question that they had for Indiana's leaders, many of whom identify themselves as Christians. These folks, their question for Indiana's leaders coming out of this prayer vigil: what would Jesus do in this situation? In Miami County, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
We felt it over the weekend. Cooler air moving in. Temperatures today 60s and 70s. In fact, we've got lots of 60s on the map right now. 69 Muncie and Shelbyville, 68 Bloomington, Columbus and Richmond, and currently 71 in Indianapolis. With the cool air, there have been a few spotty showers coming off Lake Michigan and Lake Erie. Nothing having an impact locally. We did have some clouds this afternoon. Those are already starting to thin out this evening. Temperatures overnight close to 50 degrees. You'll need a jacket or a sweatshirt early tomorrow. A cool morning, mild afternoon, highs in the low 70s.
Thank you, Angela. Tonight, Metro Police are confirming the 19-year-old suspect who allegedly shot an IMPD officer last month has now died. Police say that Tyson Reach died over the weekend. A police officer shot him during an alleged traffic stop that involved a stolen car. This happened near 16th and Lafayette Road on the near west side of Indianapolis. Police say that Reach allegedly shot an officer during the incident. That officer now is recovering and has been discharged from the hospital. Police did arrest 3 other suspects in the same incident. Tonight, the Marion County coroner is identifying the man who was killed after being hit by a truck while he was riding his bike. 57-year-old Leander Church died over the weekend after police say he was hit by a pickup truck while riding his bike. It happened Friday afternoon near Sherman Drive and Prospect on the east side. And this is just the latest incident in a troubling trend that highlights the issues that Indianapolis faces when it comes to pedestrian and bike safety. According to the group Indy Pedestrian Safety Crisis, there have been 7 deadly crashes involving people either walking or biking since just the start of last month. That is nearly the same number of incidents that occurred over the first 6 months of this year. There were 41 incidents in all of last year. Tonight, residents on the east side are fed up after what they say is a lack of respect from the community for a troubled liquor store. And now they're fighting to keep it from opening back up. Our Matthew Foltz shares the concerns that are now brewing over 38th and Emerson.
Right now, the doors and windows of this liquor store here near 38th and Emerson are all boarded up. And in my hand is just a fraction of the nearly 1,000 signatures that have been gathered from people living on this side of town calling for this liquor store to remain closed. They say it's now time to bring positive change to this part of the city.
I spoke to Dwayne Tyler, who helped start the neighborhood petition. He says he has been here for the last 3 decades and says the store near 38th and Emerson would attract many homeless people, crime, and even drugs. According to IMPD, they have responded to the location 22 times this year, and once was for a person shot. Tyler says since they were forced to close down a few months ago, the area has seen a big improvement.
Like I said, people are coming back here feeling less intimidated at my store. My customers, a lot of them told me personally, I don't go up there no more because I'm scared to get out of my car.
Now, it also appears that the power is still on at this location. I did see an AES worker out here earlier in the day who told me that he was turning the power back on. I did reach out to the Indiana Alcohol and Tobacco Commission to figure out if they have a timeline or possibility on if this location will reopen. We'll be sure to let you know as soon as we hear back. Reporting on Indy's East Side, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.